The following content has been generated with artificial intelligence under minimal human supervision. The data presented may contain errors or inaccuracies. The opinions expressed in this content do not necessarily reflect the vision, position, or values of DigiAll. We recommend verifying critical information with additional sources before making decisions based on this content.
Welcome to Digital Tech News. Today is Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. I'm Kylie Brooks, and honestly, today's stories are wild. We've got China pulling off what some are calling their own Manhattan Project for AI chips, OpenAI throwing shade at Google with a new image tool, and a water crisis nobody's talking about. Plus, Russian hackers are at it again, and your next computer is about to cost a lot more. Let's dive in. China has secretly built a prototype machine that could produce advanced AI chips, despite US export bans. OpenAI just launched ChatGPT Images to take on Google's Nano banana, and it's already topping the leaderboards. AI data centers have a hidden bottleneck that's not about electricity, it's about water, and it's becoming a serious problem. Russia-linked hackers are exploiting edge devices to breach critical infrastructure across North America and Europe. The RAM shortage driven by AI demand is going to keep your tech prices high through 2028, and it might get worse before it gets better. So, let's start with what might be the biggest tech story of the week. Reuters broke this exclusive today. In a secretive lab in Shenzhen, Chinese scientists have built a working prototype of an extreme ultraviolet lithography machine. Now, if you're not deep in the semiconductor world, here's why this matters. These EUV machines are absolutely essential for making the most advanced chips, the ones that power AI systems, your smartphone, military tech, everything cutting edge. And right now, there's only one company in the world that can make them. ASML, a Dutch company. The US has blocked ASML from selling to China since 2018. So what did China do? They reverse engineered it. The prototype was completed earlier this year by former ASML engineers who were recruited with bonuses up to $700,000. Now, it's not making working chips yet. The Chinese government is aiming for 2028, though sources say 2030 is more realistic. But here's the thing, that's still way faster than most analysts predicted. This is being called China's Manhattan Project for semiconductors. The goal is total self-sufficiency, to completely kick the US out of their supply chain. And if they pull this off, it fundamentally changes the global tech landscape. Meanwhile, the AI image wars are heating up. Yesterday, OpenAI launched ChatGPT Images, and it's clear who they're targeting: Google. Specifically, Google's Nano banana, which is what people have been calling Gemini 2.5 Flash image. OpenAI is rolling out their new flagship image generation model, GPT Image 1.5, and they're making some bold claims. It's up to 4 times faster, it follows your prompts more accurately, and it handles edits while keeping details intact. They've even created a whole new Images tab in ChatGPT to make the whole experience more intuitive. Now, OpenAI says GPT Image 1.5 is topping the LM Arena text-to-image leaderboard, beating Nano Banana Pro. But when Mashable's Joe Hindi tested it in the real world, the results were mixed. Both tools could, say, turn a nighttime car photo into daytime, but Google's output looked better. So it's not a clear knockout. What's interesting here is the timing. There were rumors of a code red at OpenAI after Google's Gemini 3 launch, and this feels like a direct response. The competition is fierce, and that's actually good news for us, because it means these tools are getting better fast. Now here's a story that's not getting enough attention, and it should be. Everyone talks about how much electricity AI data centers consume, right? But water? Nobody's talking about water, and it's becoming a critical bottleneck. Morgan Bazilian and Brandon Owens wrote a fascinating piece for the National Interest today breaking this down. Data centers use water in 2 ways: directly for on-site cooling systems, and indirectly through the water-heavy electricity production from the grid. They use this metric called water usage effectiveness, or WE, measured in litres per kilowatt hour, and the numbers are staggering. Take the National Renewable Energy Laboratories data center in Colorado, On site, it uses 0.7 litres per kilowatt hour, which sounds pretty good. But when you factor in the grid, especially all those thermoelectric plants, it jumps to about 5 litres per kilowatt hour. Thermoelectric plants in the US withdraw trillions of gallons of fresh water every year. Now, there are solutions: air cooling, dry coolers, using reclaimed water, and renewables will help reduce the indirect use. But in arid regions, this is a real problem. Cities like Tucson are already putting new conservation rules in place for big water users. If we're serious about scaling AI, we need to be just as serious about water as we are about electricity. On the security front, we've got some concerning news that dropped yesterday. A Russia-linked hacker group tied to the GRU military intelligence has been targeting critical infrastructure since at least 2021. And their method? Exploiting vulnerabilities in edge devices, things like firewalls and network management interfaces. Amazon's threat intelligence team reported that these actors have shifted tactics. They used to go after zero-day exploits, the unknown vulnerabilities. But since 2022, they've pivoted to well-known unpatched flaws. Why? Because it's easier, it's less likely to be detected, and frankly, it works. They harvest credentials from intercepted network traffic, then use that to access cloud platforms and dig deeper into the networks. The targets include electric utilities, energy sector service providers, telecom firms, and cloud platforms, primarily in North America, Europe, and the Middle East. This overlaps with Russia's sandworm campaign. Amazon researchers called this shift a concerning evolution, and they're right. The preventive measures are straightforward. Inspect your edge devices, enforce strong authentication, segment your networks, review suspicious logins, and minimize internet exposure. If you're in the energy sector, you need to be checking for login attempts using the indicators of compromise that Amazon provided. And finally, let's talk about something that's going to hit your wallet directly: the RAM shortage. Gizmodo's Kyle Barr wrote yesterday about what he calls the worst thing about the RAM shortage that nobody's talking about. And what's that? It's not just that prices are going up, it's that they're probably never coming back down. AI data centers are devouring RAM, DRAM, and SSDs, and the big producers like Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron are prioritizing AI needs. That's creating shortages for consumer products. Edward Chrysler from AMD supplier Sapphire said gamers should expect about 6 months before things stabilize. But stabilization doesn't mean prices drop. It means they stop climbing. An internal analysis leaked by Bulls Lab predicts consumer DRAM constraints through 2028. Framework expects memory upgrade price hikes in 2026. Dell is raising device prices starting today. And analysts are forecasting smartphone prices could rise 10 to 25% in 2026, potentially up to 40% through the second quarter. We're seeing this already. The Lenovo Legion Go S was announced at $550, but released at $650. The MSI Claw 8 AI Plus is pricier this year than last year. Unlike the pandemic GPU shortage, where prices eventually dropped, this is different. The market dynamics are fundamentally changed. When things stabilize, we're looking at disinflation, not deflation, meaning a new, higher baseline. So if you've been thinking about upgrading your PC or buying a new phone, you might want to do it sooner rather than later. So there you have it. China's making moves on chips, OpenAI and Google are duking it out over images, water's becoming the new electricity, Russian hackers are still a threat, and your tech is about to get more expensive. It's a lot, but that's the world we're living in. We'll keep following these stories as they develop. Thank you for staying informed with Digital Tech News. I'm Kylie Brooks. We'll be back with more updates as they happen. Stay curious.